Hey, what's to YouTube fam? It's your girl TK, and I am at home vlogging, darling. And I decided that I wanted to get online real quick and speak to you guys about Minister Farrakhan. Now, this video, we're going to be talking anti-Semitism, the Jewish community, and my reasoning on why Mr. Farrakhan is associated, has some affiliation with white supremacy. Now, a couple of you guys on this video are probably kind of scratching y'all head or looking at me a little weird, and that's fine. Because, you probably wanted to know why the fudge would I want to attach Minister Farrakhan to white supremacy. And it's real simple. Minister Farrakhan does not believe in disclosures. As a matter of fact, if you go back and look at Malcolm X and what he had fought for, you will see that Malcolm X was fighting for freedom, justice for all. These are the things that Malcolm X was associating himself for the right things, and Minister Farrakhan had a real issue with it. Minister Farrakhan, I should say, had an issue with disclosures. As a matter of fact, he penned a note to Malcolm X and said, such a man deserves death. He probably didn't use those words, but in a synopsis, that's exactly what he was saying. So with that being noted, I thought it was very important for me to kind of dive a little deep into these Jewish hate comments that Minister Farrakhan has been making as of recent. And I wanted us to look at how the Jewish community, as well as the minority African American, black and brown community, have some differences, but some similarities, with the harsh abuse that we suffered throughout the years. And I want you guys to let me know how y'all feel at the end of this video on how Minister Farrakhan has been expressing himself and using anti-Semitism to express himself towards the Jewish community. Y'all gonna have to let me know, do you think it's really right? It's one of those conversations. Is it right? So let's get into it. The first thing I want you guys to know today here is that we're going to start off with a quote, okay? And it's coming directly from Minister Farrakhan. As a matter of fact, he made this quote on Savior's Day in Chicago, Illinois. So, and that happened about the year of this quote was in 2011. So just put that out there as well. So if you want to go back and look this quote up, you are more than welcome to do so. Now let's get into this, okay? So it says here, some of you think that I'm just somebody who's got something out for the Jewish people. You're stupid. Do you think I would waste my time if I did not think it was important for you to know Satan? Do you think he would waste his time? My job is to pull the cover off of Satan so that he will never deceive you and the people of the world again. And this is coming from Minister Farrakhan. Now, I want you guys to note that in this quote, it appears that Minister Farrakhan is calling the Jewish people Satan, and he wants to pull that cover right up off of them and show them for who they are. Now, the first thing I want you guys to note here is, what is anti-Semitism? Now, by definition, anti-Semitism is hostility or prejudice against Jewish people. The first thing I would ask of you is, do you think that quote that Minister Farrakhan that I've read to you was showing some display of hostility? That's the first question. Now, I want to read a statement of facts regarding the Jewish community, okay? Now, here's the facts. The Holocaust was the genocide of European Jews during World War II. Between 1941 and 1945, Nazi Germany and its collaborators systematically murdered some 6 million Jews across German-occupied Europe and removed 2/3 of Europe's Jewish population. The murders were carried out primarily through mass shootings and poison gas and extermination camps. Shootings and poison. That is some thriller-ass behavior that happened to the Jewish community. Now, I want to tell you what Holocaust means by definition if you guys don't know. The term Holocaust is derived from a Greek word, burnt offerings. Burnt offerings. Similar to human sacrifice. So, since we're talking about offerings, we must define human sacrifice. What does that mean? So, here it goes. Human sacrifice, by definition, is the act of killing one or more humans as part of a ritual, which is usually intended to please or appease gods, a human ruler, public or jurisdictional demands for justice by capital punishment. An authoritative, priestly figure or spirits of dead ancestors, or as a retainer sacrifice, wherein a monarch's servants are killed in order for them to continue to serve their master in the next life. Human sacrifice. That is exactly how I feel. That's exactly what I feel happened to, the Jewish community during the Holocaust. 6 million people died, just because. That was a sacrifice. That's a thriller. Anyhow, I have a question for you, okay? Question. If Minister Farrakhan believes in murder of the 6 million Jews via the Holocaust, why do you think he will advocate against police brutality of women and men of color? If he believed in murdering 6 million Jews, well, police brutality is attached to disclosure. Why would he advocate for men and women of color? Why? That's not what he's affiliated with. Those are disclosures. That would attach him to something a little bit different. Something that he probably wouldn't want to be associated with. Question. That's a good question. Or if you feel like answering it, leave a note in the comment section. Anyhow, I want to go on. Now, I want you guys to note something. Minister Farrakhan, as I once stated, wrote that Malcolm X is a traitor. And 2 weeks prior to his death, he penned a note stating that such a man is worthy of death. He was wishing Malcolm X, a man who was fighting for freedom, death for making the disclosure. This is a man of color. Same skin color, or maybe he's a little bit lighter, Minister Farrakhan and Malcolm X, but they are both people of color, and he was wishing him death for wanting upward mobility for people of color. That to me is a thriller. But let's go on. In addition, I want you guys to know that Mr. Farrakhan once stated, that the seal and the Constitution reflect the thinking of the founding fathers, that this was to be a nation by white people and for white people. Native Americans, blacks, and all other non-white people were to be burden bearers for the real citizens of this nation. See, what I find a thriller is that Minister Farrakhan, he sees white people only as citizens. Native Americans, African Americans, people of color. Well, they are non-citizens. They are to be burden bearers for white men and women. Something's not adding up. 2 + 2 is 4, Minister Farrakhan. That statement to me is a thriller. Question. If Minister Farrakhan believes that the land belongs to the white man, what do you think he feels about disclosures in relation to human rights and freedom? If this world belongs to the white man, If you are victimized by police officers, if you want to make a complaint about how you've been abused as a person of color, how do you think Minister Farrakhan would react? I don't think he would have much to say because it's attached to a disclosure. Very interesting, right? I thought so as well. Anyhow, I want you guys to know that Mr. Farrakhan is a white supremacist who wished a man of color death for advocating for freedom and justice for all. The comments about this land belonging to the whites, the killing or wishing a man of color death, that's all attached to white supremacy. Minister Farrakhan is attached to white supremacy. You removing a person of color. You are saying that we are supposed to be burden bearers. You are saying that white supremacists are, or I should say white men and women are the citizens. And you are removing men and women of color from citizenship. That's a thriller. I wouldn't expect this from a leader. Not a leader like Minister Farrakhan. You know, it's just really a thriller. That's just my opinion, y'all. Anyhow, I haven't made a video in a couple days, so I wanted to make this video, and I did. I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. Please keep those notifications on. Peace, love, and happiness, guys. Bye.